Today, I'm going to walk you through from start to finish how to start a legitimate Pokemon card business. What is up, everyone? If this is your first time to the channel, I'm Cody from Sellig's Pokemart. We do operate a small online LGS. If you'd like to support the channel or the store, you can head on over to the link in the description below. We have a lot to cover. By the end of the video, you're going to have the tools necessary to start your own Pokemon card business. You need to determine how you're going to sell your products. Are you going to sell on Amazon? Are you going to sell on eBay? Are you going to start your own website? There are a lot of things that you need to take into consideration before making this decision. First off, if you are deciding that you want to sell on eBay, please keep in mind that there are some pretty hefty fees associated with eBay. When I first started selling, I started out on Mercari and eBay, and fees are up to about 13%, maybe even a little bit more on platforms like that. So do keep that in mind. There are some pros to selling on eBay. eBay is a very large platform. With that, you get a huge amount of eyes on your products. It's all together in one platform. It's pretty convenient, but the downside is the hefty fees. If you'd like to try to avoid those hefty fees, might I suggest starting your own website. In this video, I'm gonna go over all the choices that I've made to get to where I'm at today. So I'm gonna give you all my recommendations, what I did. You can decide whether or not they're right for you. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to give you a very valuable tip on how to make sure you can maintain a successful Pokemon card business. We went the route of a website. Nothing wrong with operating a website and an eBay account, but we do not do the majority of our sales on eBay because the fees are definitely a little bit too hefty for us. There are plenty of platforms out there where you can build a website on. We chose Shopify. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Shopify makes everything pretty easy. It's all straightforward in one place. It's very convenient for the seller. Shopify has payment processing built right in. It has accounting built right in. Inventory management. It even takes care of shipping all in one place. It's very convenient, but however, we don't have time to go over everything Shopify has to offer. There are plenty of other valuable pieces of content out there that will go over this in much further detail. So I'm going to take you over to my actual store account. It's really convenient. Everything's laid out here for you. This is essentially what we do. We do the basic Shopify plan, and that is $312 a year. Most of the features on the higher plans aren't really necessary for what we're trying to do. Personally, I believe for the first 2 to 3 years, you should be perfectly fine in this basic tier. Now, if your business does grow to a very high volume business, once that happens, you might be better off upgrading to the mid tier right here. I don't actually see the need to upgrading to this advanced tier ever for this type of business. I don't think it would be necessary. Once you got this all decided, whether or not you're going to choose eBay, Mercari, build your own website, which building your own website with Shopify is actually quite easy. It takes a little bit of time to get used to, but anyone with basic computer skills can eventually catch on and build your own website. I have very little background in web design myself, and I've never paid anyone to design my own website. This is personally my recommendation, is to choose building a website with Shopify. If you don't have the money to pay up front, you can also pay a little bit more by paying per month. I choose to pay by the year because there is a little bit of a savings though. If you plan on being in business for the long haul, I honestly feel like it's not even worth paying monthly. I would just personally pay yearly. That's my preference. Now that you've decided how you're going to sell your product, you need to actually form a legal business. Now, we actually designed our website before we actually applied for an LLC. This is a very important step. You need an LLC for a distributor to actually work with you. I personally chose to work with this company right here, AmeriLawyer. They make everything very easy. Now, keep in mind, I am not sponsored by any of these companies, just so you guys know. You can choose to use whatever companies you would like. However, this I found to be very convenient and easy. They did everything for me, essentially. They filled out a couple forms here. It was pretty painless, and I've found them to be very helpful along the way. They send you email notices when certain deadlines are up here for like taxes and stuff like that. Depending on where you file, what state you file for, there are different requirements and there are different fees associated with it. Everything will vary depending on the state. If you do find value out of this content, please make sure you smash that like button. It's completely free. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you enjoy Pokemon content, investment, business, this is the place for you. Without further ado, you could pay a couple $100s to get this all taken care of, but it's very convenient. They take care of everything, including getting your EIN number. Your EIN is your employer identification number. This is very important. This is gonna be like your business's social security in a way. You're going to need this for a lot of things coming up in the near future, which is why this one needs to be taken care of before you take care of anything else. Now, for us, we filed our LLC for Delaware. Here's a fun fact. You do not need to file an LLC for the state that you live in. Did you know that? Now, when you do file outside of the state that you live in, you do have to go take an additional step. You need a registered agent. AmeriLawyer offers this service, so you can get it all here, all done in one place, which is really convenient. Keep in mind, your tax laws, you have to follow the tax law for your LLC. So, for instance, if you have a LLC in Delaware, you have to pay an annual renewing fee basically every June, I believe it is, of a couple $100s. Now this is something you cannot avoid. You have to keep re-upping on it every year. Now that can be different for each state. I chose Delaware because of their very lenient tax laws, and it's very convenient being that I only have to pay once a year. There are some LLCs where you might have to file quarterly earning reports and stuff like that. Please do your research for the state that you're filing your LLC. Once you've completed all this, they'll send you a nice organized binder. They'll have all the paperwork and documentation that you need, and then you officially have your own business. Called a lot of different things depending on your state. I hear sales tax permit most often. You have to file with the Department of Revenue for your state. Now this is the state that you live in, which I'll bring up the website for my state here. Essentially, find your state's Department of Revenue website, and then you need to sign up and create an account. Now, once you create an account, this is where you're gonna go every quarter to pay in the sales tax that you collected. Now, you could set this up so that you pay sales tax every quarter or yearly. There are different ways to set this up. Basically, set it up however is most convenient for you. This is pretty straightforward. This can take a little bit of time before you get your sales tax license back. Essentially, once that is done, you'll have a piece of paper basically with an ID number, and then you need this number to file for tax exemption. So, what is the tax exemption? This is basically so you could buy product without paying sales tax. However, there is a catch. You cannot legally buy the product for your own personal use. This product that you are purchasing is only meant for resale use only. So, if you're buying Pokemon product and you're not paying tax on it, but you plan on opening it, then you have to actually technically pay the tax for the product that you open. So you do need to keep this in mind. Now, if you're opening that product to sell the singles, that's a little bit different. But if you are opening it for your own personal collection, you do have to keep in mind that you are required by law to pay tax on that. This is important that you take care of this after starting your LLC, because the requirement from distribution is to have a sales tax permit, and then you have to fill out a sales tax exemption. Very easy form to find. You could just Google it, sales tax exemption, and then put in your state, and then you could print up the form. Very important to separate your personal and business funds. Not only that, some distributors want to see a business account. They don't want you to be using your own personal account. This is very straightforward. Obviously, you could choose any bank. I chose Bank of America. I found it very convenient, and you can do it all online. I don't even have a Bank of America branch anywhere near where I live, but I still was able to do all this online. It was very easy. Now, keep in mind that a lot of business accounts will require you to actually maintain a balance. A lot of business banks will actually require you to maintain a balance, or else you'll get a monthly fee. Ever had to pay a monthly fee? I always maintain a good balance. I believe that some places might have certain requirements on how much revenue that you actually bring in. So this is not a very difficult thing to achieve. So chances are you probably can avoid paying any monthly fees. Personally, I've never paid a monthly fee with my business banking account. This is very straightforward. I feel like I don't need to actually talk about this anymore. If you like an easy place to go through to start up your business banking, I actually do recommend Bank of America. They've been very good to me. It was very easy, straightforward, and convenient. After you've taken care of everything that I've already previously mentioned, now it's time to start applying for distribution. Pokemon conveniently keeps everything all in one place for you. All you have to do is just Google Pokemon distributors, and they will literally, the support page right here, it's one of the first things that should pop up. They have a list of all the North American distributors, Canada, they have everything separated for you right here. We are clearly just talking about North America right now. The idea here is to find one that is close to you. That way you don't have to wait so long for your product to arrive. I personally am lucky that I live in a state where there is actually a distributor an hour away from me. Now in 2023, most distributors actually aren't even accepting accounts. If you do apply, you'll likely be put onto a wait list, so please keep that in mind. I was lucky enough to apply back in 2020 before they actually stopped taking applications. This is going to be one of the most important parts to running your business. You need to build a strong, healthy relationship with the distributors that you have. You can apply for more than one distributor. I actually recommend applying for as many as you can. There are people out there that believe that stores selling Pokemon are rolling in the cash, and it's really not the case. You do have to understand that profit margins are very low, and this is a very competitive market. If you're making 15% profit margins selling Pokemon, honestly, I feel like you're doing really well. One valuable piece of advice I can pass on to you is that you will never make everyone happy. When you're working on your pricing model, how you choose to price your products, price it in a way that can be sustainable. Your business needs to be sustainable, or you're not going to stay in business for very long. And that was something I had to personally learn the hard way. The business was struggling. There were months that we were barely making any profit margins. People will still support your business even if you don't always have the lowest price. There are other factors that keep a customer coming back, like great customer service. Customers appreciate when stores are transparent and genuine. You don't always have to have the lowest price to be successful. In fact, some of the most successful businesses actually don't even have that great of prices. Assuming you're going the route of designing your own website, how is the customer going to find this website? It's not that easy. So if it's not that easy to show up on Google, then what are you supposed to do? Essentially, when you are designing your website, you are going to want to optimize your SEO. Your SEO is your search engine optimization. Basically, you're going to want to add your tags to your products. Make sure that there's tags everywhere in your website when you're doing descriptions and stuff like that. This is what helps you show up on search. However, this is not how you're going to get all your sales. We started out with advertising on Facebook. We paid for Facebook ads. We haven't paid for ads since probably 2021. Social media is essentially a free form of advertisement. Now, obviously, you're here watching our YouTube video. I've built a community here on YouTube as a means to connect with the customer, and it also serves as a form of free advertisement. Other ways of advertising through social media could be Instagram. You could build a business Facebook account, Twitter, but it's very important to grow a social media following. Not only does this allow you to connect with your audience, it allows you to share special deals. It allows you to show the community that you are a legitimate business. The more presence you have in the community, the more trust you can build with the community. At the beginning of the video, I told you I was going to share with you a very valuable piece of advice. A Pokemon card business is not a gold mine. The Pokemon market has become a more normal market now. Things don't sell for 2x, 3x overnight like they used to. So with that said, you need to understand that Running a Pokemon card business is a lot of hard work. As you grow, your days will become longer and longer. And you might realize that for the profit that you're making, that it might only equal to minimum wage, maybe even less than minimum wage. This is not the type of business for someone that wants to come in here, get rich quick. This business is a grind. If you want to succeed, you need to be very passionate about Pokemon. You need to be passionate about the business and passionate about the community. Without the passion, you're probably going to lose interest. The business will probably go under. You probably will become very frustrated and just give up. That's all I got for you guys today. I hope you found some value out of this content. Remember to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. I really appreciate all the support, and as always, let's make like Charizard and keep this passion burning.